Belleville School District basketball safety guidelines, and at the bottom, it has a place for athlete signature and parent signature. That's what I'm gonna want back by the first day of practice. Okay, you don't have to sign it now. First day of practice, which we're gonna have an optional practice on the 12th. That's Veterans Day. So no school, no required practice. Optional practice. It's gonna be 5 to 7. All week that week, 5 to 7. So if you wanna come and start practice, you can. If you're out of town, it's a 3-day weekend, stay out of town. Go do your family stuff. All right, some things. Let's go to Goldendale boys basketball policies. I'll just hit some things. It won't take the whole night up here. Okay, so big one. Because game day is an emotional time for players, parents, coaches, it is not advised to come up, why didn't my son play at all? What are you doing out there? Don't you know how to use a timeout? That kind of stuff should not happen on game day. If you're frustrated with a coach, all coaches would love to talk with you. But go ahead and schedule that after practice, before practice. If you'd like to get in touch with me, here's my email address. Snap a photo if you want or write it down. We'll also have other contact later. I don't like to give out my personal cell too much because I like to sleep at nights. All right, team members, you need to behave in accordance with the athletic code. That's that huge package that Mr. Westman was going over at all times. All right, I said 24 hour, 365, what's that, all year, all calendar year? You have to abide by that stuff, so no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco. None of that stuff has any place, really, in our society, in my opinion, for minors. Okay? Recreational drug use, over-the-counter stuff, all that kind of stuff can be abused. We don't want to do that. Be mindful, have integrity, make the right choices. Those of you that can't follow school policy, you will have repercussions or consequences in practice. Right now I'm thinking those of you that can't take your hood off in school, when that's a school policy, will face boards. Okay, so if you can't listen to a teacher in class, you will face boards that will give you. If you're, littering in the parking lot, face boards. So I hold basketball people, I hold most people to this standard. I hold basketball people to this standard. Okay, because you need to be leaders of the school. All right? I expect you to follow directions of all coaches. Doesn't matter if it's head coach, JV coach, head JV coach, C-squad coach, and we're going to have volunteer coaches too. Doesn't matter who it is. If they give you direction, you need to follow it. If you don't understand, you need to ask a question. Hey, I don't understand. Can you clarify, please? Disrespectful stuff like trash talking, disrespectful gestures, flipping people off, that kind of stuff. Belittling a teammate, hey, you suck, that kind of stuff. It's not okay. You need to be coachable. That kind of stuff won't be tolerated. You can't follow coach's directions. The players will be given a running workout or boards. And if the player refuses to run, they'll be sent home. If you can't drive, that's going to be a rough one. But you're going to be kicked out of practice, basically. If you're removed if this happens more than once, you get like one strike. That's it. If it happens the second time, we're going to say you're off the team. You can't handle it. Okay? Maybe next year. All right. Eligibility. For like practice, if you are, like Mr. Westman said, if you have an unexcused tardy or absence from school, you can't practice that day if it's first period or fifth period. Right? So, or after lunch. Fifth period is not always after lunch, but whatever's after lunch. That's for school. Also, if you're unexcused with the coaches, you need to, that's a problem. Also, you can notify me. I'm at school, so you can always come find me, players. Or we'll have a remind app set up, so you can send a message that way. Hey, coach, I need 15 minutes to work on my math with one of the math teachers, right? Or some other excuse, some other reason. Just have to notify coach at least 15 minutes before the start of practice, and it's excused. No communication, unexcused. So you get a flat tire, get a hold of coach. Hey, coach, I got a flat tire. I'm going to be late to practice. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Same thing if we're an adult and we don't call or show up to work, that's a big problem. You get fired. So, same thing is held accountable there. Grade checks. Every Thursday morning, I get to fill that out as AD. I get to go through all your grades. So, I believe C's or higher. D's are not acceptable in my book, so even though you're striving to get D's, I understand, but working hard to get C's, always. Don't live on that line, because one bad test can drop you to the F category, and then you've let your teams down. So stay up in the C level. Okay, if you have an F, instead of practicing, I want you to bring your work to practice and do your homework. Okay, you have an F. Do your homework. Once your grade's up to a C, then you can just practice with the rest of us. Along that line, there's lift every Wednesday. I'm thinking, I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking I'm just going to require you guys to go to lift Wednesday. Yeah. It's after school, it's great, and then we have practice right after that. So, I'm on the fence. I'm thinking definitely C's and D's and F's are going to have to go, but maybe just everybody. Make it a team like. Okay, if you are ineligible for 5 cumulative weeks, that's like half the season, not quite half the season. You're going to be removed from varsity or JV. You'll be eligible for C squad, but I believe that JV, is practice for varsity, and varsity is, what everyone wants. So if you're not eligible, you're not doing the team any good. So you can go all the way down to C squad, where you can still practice and still get better, and hopefully next year get your grades up and you can keep playing. Okay, so that's eligibility. Let's just kind of hit on that stuff. Travel. Okay, you're expected to travel with the team to the events and home for the most part, but if you want to go home with your parents, that's okay. You just have to sign out. Parents, if you're familiar with that, see your coach. So if you're on JV, you'd see Coach Siebert. If you're on varsity, you'd see me, C-team, Coach Bear, sign out with them. If for some reason, I know some people have split homes, and maybe they need to get a ride to the game from when they're not, in Goldendale or somewhere else, that has to be taken through the athletic director's department, so that's me on my other hat, 24 hours in advance, so I can do background, make sure that's a legitimate thing that's happening. There's paperwork for that. Stop by the office, call the office. We can fax it to you, email it to you. Get it back. That makes sense. So if you're going to, that also applies to if you need a ride home with, say, your friend's parents, right? So Tyler, if you're going to go home with Lane, your mom has to sign a paper that says it's okay for you to go home with Lane. 24 hours in advance. Okay. Questions on that? Cool. Okay, so dress attire. Basketball has an unwritten rule from the bottom all the way to the top that you dress up. You look sharp. Shirt, tie, slacks, dress shoes. So, same is required for you guys at school. I think hats do not go well with shirt, tie, dress shoes unless it's like a fedora or something like that, part of your three-piece suit. Okay, so let's look good. Once you are, if it's a home game, you're going to stay dressed up the whole time. If it's an away game, once school's over or once we're getting on the bus, or before we get on the bus, you can dress down into your sweats, travel gear. We'll come back to more travel gear later. So that we're nice and comfortable, and those buses get cold / hot, so sitting in dress clothes is terrible on a bus. We want to be comfortable. Okay, that's pretty much the front page. I want to touch on dressing up for home games. So let's say you're C squad. You play at 6 o'clock at the middle school. You're all done. You're like, yeah, good. If you're going home, see you later. You don't have to dress back up. If you're going to come watch the varsity game at 7:30, you got to dress back up. You got to represent the team with class, shirt and tie. Okay, uniforms. Everyone's going to get issued a uniform that makes the team. Everyone's going to get issued practice gear. That stuff is ridiculously expensive. And so, take care of it. Wash it gingerly. Use the correct detergent. Don't dry it on high heat. That kind of stuff. If you damage it or lose it, the practice tops were $55. The practice bottoms were $55. And the game uniform, just for a set of whites, it's actually a little more than $150. So they're super expensive. Ridiculous. And varsity, we're getting new ones this year. Right? So everyone's getting ones passed down. Hopefully they make it before our first game. So take care of the clothes. Don't rip them. I've seen this happen when I was first coaching, and kids lost, so they start taking off their jersey, they pulled it like this, or ripped it right down the front. That sucks. So, all right, shoes. Hopefully everyone kind of knows this policy from word of mouth, but shoes, black, white, gray, purple, gold, yellow. Those are our school colors or neutral colors. We don't want to wear red or green or navy or orange. Yeah, those are other schools' colors. We want to wear our colors. So the main body of the shoe needs to be black, white, gray, purple, gold, yellow, right? More on that later. Lettering, anyone who plays at least half the varsity quarters, that's 40, can earn a varsity letter. You go in for 1 second, you made it into that quarter. You don't have to play the whole quarter, just like 1 second, you're in that quarter. Regulations, kind of talk about that stuff. Injuries, please report those immediately to your coach so we know that something's happened. We have to fill out paperwork too, injury, accident reports. It happens. You know, people get elbowed, get bloody nose. I tore my knee in basketball in high school, it happens. Other things, rolled ankles, that happens all the time. Tell coach, we try to get you ice, get you medical assistance if you need it, right? Call your parents. Let's see, any team member willfully insubordinate to a coach, official, or school personnel will be suspended indefinitely. Indefinitely is like an undetermined amount of time, right? If for some reason a team member quits, is suspended for the team, and cannot complete the season in good standing, you forfeit all your awards, right? So you can't letter, or you can't win MVP, or if we're state champions, you're not part of the team. Sorry, man. Okay. Attendance must be in school all day. Talk about that. So practice or play. I know some of you have 0 hour with me. I'm a 0 hour teacher. Sometimes when I get home at like 1 in the morning, sometimes 2 in the morning, crazy late. You still gotta be at 0 hour, otherwise you don't get to practice or play that day. And I'll be there too, just like Dragon. Okay? All right, grab some Dr. Pepper and keep it there. Okay, so if you know you're going to miss class due to an appointment, right? So braces, dentist, doctor, not a haircut, right? Family emergencies are really not known. Those are kind of gray areas. But if you know you're going to be gone, you're supposed to prearrange that through the athletic department office. Hey, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. And I'll bring a doctor's note, or a dentist's note, or an orthodontist's note, or I had a funeral, or I had a wedding. What are some other things that we can excuse you for? Those things. Prearrange that stuff. And then just have conversations with your coaches so they know. Everyone's got to be, communication's the key. Communicate, no problem. Okay. That's stuff. Any questions on this? With this paper is also that other one, safety guidelines. I'm going to let you read that. At the bottom, just have your son bring it back on the first day of practice. That's either the 12th or the 13th. Okay, here's some other things we got going on. With the use of technology, well, the school signed some sort of agreement with the company BSN and Nike. So we're like a Nike school. We're supposed to wear Nike stuff for our uniforms. We don't have to wear it everywhere, but they kind of cut us a deal. There's these things called team stores. Anyone ever heard of these things? Maybe? A couple team stores? Yeah, well, a couple of us. I have a flyer. It's two-sided. It's super confusing, but I'm going to try to clarify. There are 2 team stores. One has t-shirt, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, polo. If you want to get some Golden Trail basketball stuff, you can do this. Not required whatsoever. It tells you how to do it online. It closes on the 14th. So you go online, make your order if you want to. Hopefully they have your size. With this stuff, it's custom apparel, right? So once it closes on the 14th, it takes 3 to 4 weeks for them to print it and ship it to you. So it's right to your house. Okay. So, no pressure. You can do it if you want to. You don't want to, no worries. And it's kind of discounted prices because we have this deal with them. On the flip side, it has equipment. It's a kind of a different store because it's not custom. They'll send it right to you after you make the order. It has discount shoes. And some people wear compression shorts and a black and white socks. That's something else I forgot to say. We wear black socks with purple jerseys and white socks with white jerseys. Okay, so if you want to order some shoes if you haven't already, I mean, there's Hyper Dunks for almost $95 and normally like $130. So that's a good deal, but it's super expensive. Or you can go like I did and get some Spaldings at Kmart. That's what I rocked. Hakeem Elijah ones. No joke. You can get it back in what, 1994? Hakeem Elijah ones. All right. Okay, so if you want to do this, you can take it. Take a flyer. I'll just put it on the back desk over here. No pressure. With travel gear, that's not the travel gear, but you could use it. I'm just kind of wishy-washy on all travel gear. We bought stuff last year, so if you have stuff from last year, we can use it. No problem. You don't have to buy more stuff. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. If you wanted to do this stuff, there's a sweatshirt and pants on there. If you wanted to wear that, you could. And we'll have one more team store of stuff I'm going to phase in. It's sweet. It's a full zip and some pants. Way less expensive, like $35 an article. But that company, we're behind the gun. So I'll have more information on that later. Does that make sense? That's like a lot of stuff right there, but it's all optional. I just wanted you guys to give you some options. Maybe hopefully have some discounts, so if you want to try to save some money, your choice. Okay, questions? Cool. Last thing, schedule. Tentative. Things always change. School gets canceled, games get canceled, snowy roads, bad weather, ice storms. So this is the schedule so far. It has our games, our practice times. If you've been in the program a while, we're kind of changing things up. I really want teams to get able to run the full court. Our side courts in the gym are 6 feet 3 inches narrow and 9 feet short. I think it's a disservice to us when we go play actual games that we practice on a short course. So we're trying to get people on the full court more often so we can be successful. So, 1 week the JV will be at the varsity, another week the JV will be at the C team. And basically JV goes back and forth. There's some oddities in there, like middle school has home games, so there's an odd day. There's a choir concert, band concert, there's an odd day. There's a home wrestling match, there's an odd day in there. So I know some of you that have like multiple kids, you'll have a senior and a freshman. Makes it difficult for you, but this is the best we could do, I think, to try to make everyone successful, or the program successful. So you can take one of these on your way out, or everyone needs one of these. Dylan, you can pass these out right here. You're a good man. Okay, if you're into smart devices, right? Yeah, I have a case and I have a screen.
Okay.
It's fine. No big deal.
I got mine one.
Okay, so this schedule is tentative. Things change. You want an always up-to-date schedule. There's a mobile app. If you're into apps, it's called the letter R, School Activity. It has a little hat. I gotta look at it to describe it to you. A little blue hat that says RST on it. It's this thing in the corner. No one will see it. Here we go, Tyler. You can see it. Right? Tell people. But it links you to the scacconference.org website, which is what our conference uses. And if I go to it, I say it's Goldendale. I can just click, what do I want? Varsity boys basketball. There's the schedule. So if things change, it's always up to date. Always up to date. That's the best way to always be in the know for games. Did the game get canceled? When's it rescheduled to? What time are I playing? Where are we playing? I got a kid who's a C squatter and a varsity kid. Who's C squad playing? Oh, they're in an off gym. Right? Because you don't always play in the same gym. Actually, C squad never plays in the same gym as varsity. Questions? R, school activity. Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, nice. Blue hat, RST, school activity tracker.
That's just games, right?
That's just games. Okay. Any questions? Feel free to come talk to me. Coach Hubert, anything important? Okay, first practice is the 12th. It's optional. That's Veterans Day. It's optional, but we only have 10 practice. You have to have 10 practices before our first contest. There's like 13 practices because Thanksgiving's in there too. We're not going to practice on Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving.
So how will you communicate school no practices if there's no school?
So we'll do, each coach will set up a Remind app. So that's something else you can sign up for Remind. Once we divide us into C, varsity, and JV, each coach will set up a team so they can communicate directly to your team and the parents. And you can sign up just to get text messages or emails, or you can, if you're in a smartphone, you can do the app too. So you don't have to have a smartphone, you can just do the text messages. Pretty slick. That stuff is coming from however your son falls into line. And I guess I should say, as a varsity team, maximum I'm going to keep is 11. I have 12 uniforms. One uniform I'll always save for blood. So a kid gets a bloody nose, or some other kid gets a bloody nose, there's blood on it. We have to change it out. So one, I'll always save for that. Sometimes I only do 10. Depends on where the talent level is, if there's kind of a dividing line. So 10 to 11 for varsity. JV only has 12 uniforms too. So 10 to 12. C squad, same thing, 12 uniforms, 10 to 12. So I'm only going to go max 11. So we're looking at like 35 players. Okay, I don't know how many's here today, but if we had like 40 kids turn out, that means 4 people won't make a team. And that happens. And nothing against anybody who doesn't make a team, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So if there's only 30 kids that turn out, everyone makes a team somewhere. Okay? Any other questions? Awesome. I'm super pumped. I love basketball. I hope you guys all do too. And we're going to have a great year.
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
Now, since you saying that last little part. So it's really important when you talk about grades that you don't occupy a spot and never be eligible, because we may have to let somebody not be able to play. So know going in that you're going to work just as hard on the court as you are off the court in your schoolwork. So that way it takes it completely off the table. We don't even have to worry about it. We can focus on basketball, which is what we want to focus on. But ultimately, you guys need to be successful in the classroom to be successful in this world. So that's what, that's the priority for us, is make you guys successful in the classroom, which in turn, we believe makes you successful on the basketball court. So that's important to us. So that's something else to think about. Early in the season, you might not think it's that big of a deal that, oh, I can get my grades up, or maybe we had to let somebody go. So just something to think about. So we want everybody to have the opportunity, but if there is a chance that we don't have enough, that we have too many kids, we just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity. So be accountable, because we're going to hold you guys accountable. Be accountable for yourself, and then, we're all about team. We are 100% team. Everybody in this room is on the same team, period. So be accountable. We're not babysitters. You guys are in high school. So just think about that. And we are excited. It's been a long year. I think I was ready last year when the last game was over. So.
Excellent. Yep, good point. Thanks, Coach. All right. That's all I got.